Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to the first chase race of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, race number 27 also. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Pep Boy Auto Parts 400 here at Arizona Speedway, as we are getting set for 41 laps of racing here at this mile-and-a-half racetrack. But before we look at the starting lineup, let's go through a reminder of who all made the chase this season. With this season being top 12 in points and 2 wildcard drivers, basically the chase points look like this. So we have a 4-way tie for the number 1 seed in the chase, and these were drivers who had 2 wins that managed to stay top 12 in points and carry over bonus points. And they were Kyle Matthews, Dylan Young, James Qualls, and Zach Flickinger. The next 5 drivers all had 1 win and are 3 points behind the 4-way tie for the points lead, and they were Joshua Sekuli, James McLeod, Tim Fiegel, Johnny Gardner, and Sean Galligan. The next 3 drivers were drivers who made it in via top 12 in points without a victory, and they were William Brock, Rafael Leduc, and Dylan Poteet. And then the 2 wildcard drivers, Chris Dollarton, who had 1 win, and Dylan Jacobs, who had 2 wins. Unfortunately, because they had to use the wildcard spots, their bonus points did not carry over. So 6 points separate all 14 drivers. So this is going to be an interesting start to the chase here at Arizona. But without further ado, let's look at the starting lineup. Starting in the last row is Scott Roush and Seth Cole. Top 10, DJ Curtis is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is Shane Lake. Row 2 is Zachary Fitzwater and the highest starting chaser, Rafael Leduc. Row 3, Carson Gum, Joshua Michaels. Row 4, Trent Dunham, Jessica Shelton. And then row 5, Benjamin Miles and Dorian Facepuncher. But let's get the command to fire engines for the Pep Boy Auto Parts 400 at Arizona.
Drivers, start your engines!
So all 42 drivers rolling out on the racetrack for their 1 pace lap. So yeah, only 1 chase driver qualified in the top 10, and that was Rafael Leduc in that 77 car, starting in 4th. And then the next highest chaser I see is Joshua Sekuli, and it looks like he's starting in 11th. And then Dylan Young behind him, and then behind him, Tim Fiegel. So a lot of chasers are pretty much scattered throughout the whole field. So this is going to be an interesting first few laps to see how these chase drivers are going to maneuver around the field and how the non-chasers are going to be racing with the chasers. But the pace car's in pit road, which means it's time to boogity, 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 go racing. Well, DJ Curtis led the first lap, and now he's starting to pull away from the field a little bit as Zachary Fitzwater moves into the 2nd spot. However, he might have a challenger. Maybe not. I thought Carson Gum was going to be able to stick his nose underneath Fitzwater's left rear quarter panel, but didn't seem to quite get the run he wanted. But now he is coming and is now trying to move his way up to the 2nd spot in hopes of trying to catch DJ Curtis. And right now I see a couple of chasers starting to move their way up to the front. Joshua Sekuli and Dylan Young, who were basically the top two in points for the majority of the second half of the regular season prior to the chase, as they now move up to 5th and 6th respectively. As meanwhile, Carson Gum going to try and work a move underneath DJ Curtis, and he is there. And look at the miles per hour, well, not really a miles per hour difference, but the lower you go on the racetrack, the more speed you're able to keep here at this racetrack, considering there's so much grip here on that bottom groove that you're able to run lower than the driver in front of you and make a pass. And right now Carson Gum leads the way, as meanwhile battle on for 4th. Joshua Sekuli is going to easily go by Zachary Fitzwater, as Fitzwater slowed down big time on that middle groove and has held up Dylan Young as a result. Next highest chaser I see in the field currently is William Brock, followed by Sean Galligan, another chaser. Both of these drivers are Dodge drivers, but with different teams. William Brock and his solo car team of Sprite Racing, and Sean Galligan for Richard Petty Motorsports. As Dylan Young, ever since he got held up by Fitzwater, he is just starting to fall back like a rock. So right now, a tough start for the 2 car. But meanwhile, back up here at the front, Carson Gum still leading the way here at Arizona, as DJ Curtis trying to find a way to get back around the 19 car. Trent Dunham up in the 3rd, but Joshua Sekuli, who had been pretty much the dominant points leader for the majority of the season, he's up here in 4th. And then you got Phil Parker running in the 5th position to round out the top 5. There's Tim Fiegel, another chaser trying to work his way up. He might now have gone up to about 12th at this point, because he's just gone by both Joshua Michaels and Dylan Young, as they are 3 wide, but managed to keep it together. As Dylan Young continues to lose ground. Looking around for any other chasers. There's Chris Dollarton. He's last scored 22nd. And then Rafael Leduc, who's a couple spots behind. And then James McLeod and Dylan Jacobs and Johnny Gardner kind of all bunched up together around the back of the field. James Qualls and Kyle Matthews and Zach Flickinger are the lowest of the chase drivers in the field right now. But things can easily change depending on how these drivers race, how they're going to maneuver around the field, and also keep in mind, if we are green this whole race, green flag pit stops are definitely going to play a huge part in shuffling this field. But ever since Carson Gum has taken the lead from DJ Curtis, Curtis has been able to try and close in, but not able to make the move, at least not just yet. Maybe he's waiting for the right moment to go for it. But when we get to the halfway point, we will take our only commercial break of the race. So we got about 9 to 10 more laps of this action before we get to the commercial breaks. Right now, Sekuli still running in 4th. However, he's lost a little bit of time to the top 2. Less than 0.8 of a second behind Phil Parker, DJ Curtis, and Carson Gum. Meanwhile, in the back here, right now, James Qualls, who came in as one of the 4 drivers tied for the points lead, having a very, very rough time right now. Running right now 41st, trying to go for 40th. And then Flickinger and Kyle Matthews are both stuck back here. Quite a few chasers are kind of stuck in the back right now, and not really able to make anything work, at least for the time being. Phil Parker trying to take second away from DJ Curtis, and he makes it work. So now Phil Parker trying to close in on DJ Curtis, on Carson Gum, that is. A tenth and a half separating these two, and Parker trying to run lower than the 19 to get some air on the front end to get a bigger run. As meanwhile, battle going on for third between four drivers: Joshua Sekuli, DJ Curtis, Trent Dunham, and Ryan Brommer, who's currently the highest running rookie in the field. Now trying to go underneath Trent Dunham for the 5th position right now. Still looking around the field to keep an eye on things. Make sure that there haven't been any wrecks occurring. But right now, only 2 chasers are currently in the top 10 right now, and they are Joshua Sekuli and William Brock. William Brock in 10th, Sekuli up to 3rd. As we get back up here at the front, it is still all Carson Gum, but look at the run Phil Parker is getting. Trying to get to the back bumper of the 19. Is he going to go down low? Yes, he is. He's going to try and go down low, and here he comes for the lead. And easily goes by the 19. So new leader, Phil Parker in the 09 PlayStation Dodge for Richard Petty Motorsports. Meanwhile, Joshua Sekuli is not only trying to reel in the top 2, but trying to keep DJ Curtis at bay behind him. But it's proven to be a tough task for the 82 carts. Like I said at the onset of this race, that the chasers are going to have to find some ways to work around the non-chasers, and the non-chasers are trying to race as hard as they can to get themselves wins to try and finish off the 4th season of Marvel Studios Cup Series with a bang. So right now, before we get to the commercials, let's take a look and see where all the chasers in numerical order are currently scored. So first off, Dylan Young, last time scored 18th. Tim Fiegel, last scored 11th. Chris Dollerton, last scored 37th. Dylan Poteet last scored 23rd. Johnny Gardner last scored 34th. Kyle Matthews last scored 32nd. Sean Galligan last scored 12th. Zach Flickinger last scored 33rd. James McLeod last scored 29th. William Brock last scored in 10th. James Qualls last scored 41st, though clearly now the 40th. Rafael Leduc last scored 21st. Dylan Jacobs last time scored 31st. And then finally, Joshua Sekuli last scored in 3rd. But now we've reached the halfway point, so we'll be right back. Live action will still happen on the bottom of your screen, but stick around after these commercials. Hey you! Are you tired of watching stupid YouTubers like the Paul brothers?
Yeah!
Well then, check out the Kamikaze Games YouTube channel. If you want to watch classic gameplay videos like these...
Fucking stupid cocksucking apron! Why is that a thing?! The fucking banana peels are real! Oh, shit, now bananas everywhere I go!
If you want to see racing videos like these...
Can there be one good race this year? That's all I fucking ask.
Ty Dillon's called me out. Oh, man.
Worthless ass, shitty fucking racing package. Get this shit the fuck away from anywhere near the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
It's the same song and dance every single week. Why do I even care? It's so fucking dumb.
Or if you want to watch classic raging like these...
It was the god damn motherfucking engine of all things!
You did no research! Goddamn fucking Joey Logano won the goddamn fucking Daytona 500! Fuck! 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 Ah! 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 Are you fucking serious? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? driver. You can't fucking drive. No, 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 no! Fuck you! Ah!
Then what are you doing? Go check out the Kamikaze Games YouTube channel. To find the Kamikaze Games YouTube channel, just go to youtube.com and type in the search bar Kamikaze Games. That is spelled KAMIKAZEGAMES. Check him out right now, otherwise he will come to your house and punch you in the face. That is Kamikaze Games. Kamikaze Games. I'm so glad I found this guy. He cracks me up. Thank you. Thank you, YouTube masters. Okay, let's see what we got to drink. Ah, fucking perfect. Ah, some good old Powerade. Delicious. No, not really. Powerade, the most overrated drink ever made. Go to your local store and see for yourself. Welcome back to live action here at the Pep Boy Auto Parts 400 here at Arizona Speedway, as we are less than 15 laps to go here at Arizona in this first race in the chase, and Phil Parker still leading the way here at Arizona, as we see top three are still kind of close to each other, trying to battle each other out for the lead here. Phil Parker, Carson Gum, and the highest running chase contender currently being Joshua Sekuli. Sekuli trying to figure out what is it he's going to have to do to try and get around these top two, so that way he can come off out of the gate strong with a win. But green flag pit stops are about to happen. The first three drivers come in, but Pichu London stays out to hold on to the lead for the time being. The big thing that I think these drivers coming in right now don't want to see is a caution, because if they get caught a lap down, they're virtually out of the race picture for sure. And looks like about less than half the field decided to come down into pit road, and the majority elected to stay out. But here comes Pichu London and Ryan Brommer, two of them who stayed out. They're coming in. Let's see if anybody's going to stay out longer. Matt Haas going to stay out. Same with Emmanuel Hardinet, James Qualls, Scott Roush. They're going to stay out. So basically 4 drivers still out on the racetrack, banking on a quick caution to come out so that way they can keep the spots they're in. But I don't know. This race has been so clean, I don't think we'll be able to see a caution come out unless some craziness happens here. But now here comes the remaining drivers. Haas, Hartnett, Qualls, and Roush all into pit road. And if things were to cycle around, it's looking like, as I'm trying to get to them, it's looking like Phil Parker will still get to keep the lead if things cycle around properly. Although Ryan Brommer and Pichu London currently is now ahead. So it's looking like perhaps Pichu London will be able to get the lead. And he's going to get it fairly easily. So now with almost 10 laps to go here at Arizona, Pichu London currently now is your race leader. Second, Ryan Brommer. Battle for third between Joshua Sekuli and fourth, Carson Gum. Fifth, Phil Parker. Sixth, Jake Baskinger. Seventh, William Brock. Eighth, Trent Dunham. Ninth, Jay Jefferson. 10th, Sean Galligan. 11th, Jonathan Zorline. 12th is Shane Lake. 13th, Cody Lamas. 14th, Charles Sanford. 15th, Joshua Michaels. 16th, DJ Curtis. 17th now, James Qualls. So big comeback run for James Qualls to manage to get him into the top 20 after running in the back all day. Must have had a great pit stop to get him up here. Anyways, 18th, James Shelley. 19th, Preston Plord. 20th, Tim Fiegel. 21st, Dylan Thoreau. 22nd is Jessica Shelton. 23rd, Kyle Matthews. 24th, Dylan Poteet. 25th is Dougie Shears. 26th is Johnny Gardner. 27th is Dorian Facepuncher. 28th, Matt Haas. 29th is Matt McIntyre. 30th, Emmanuel Hartnett. 31st is Zachary Fitzwater. 32nd, Dylan Jacobs. 33rd is Chris Dollarton. 34th, James McLeod. 35th, Patrick Smith. 36th, Benjamin Miles. 37th, Joshua Collard. 38th, Seth Cole. 39th is Scott Roush. 40th, Dylan Young. 41st, Zach Flickinger. And then, oh, contact! Almost a wreck there. Rafael Leduc now 41st, and 42nd is Zach Flickinger. Less than 7 laps to go, I believe, here at Arizona. And Pichu London has a huge lead, over a second, over Joshua Sekuli. But you got to wonder, will Sekuli be able to reel in the 21 in time to try and make a challenge? I don't know, because now it is 6 laps to go here at Arizona. The margin still a little over 1.1 seconds. But right now, Zach Flickinger, he has donuts on both sides of his car from contact, either on pit road or on the track. That driver's side contact was from that man right there, Rafael Leduc, as bottom 3 are chase drivers, Leduc, Dollarton, and Flickinger. So tough break for a few chasers right now. Even some that are still in the back, like Dylan Young and James McLeod, and even Dylan Jacobs. Wow, look at that power move Dougie Shears trying to go for underneath Dylan Poteet. And it looks like he's going to be able to make it work. I thought for a second Joshua Michaels was coming back into pit road. Anyways, we got a new driver in second. Ryan Brommer in the 17 takes second away from Sekuli, as Pichu London still hanging on strong up here at the front of the field. As we're getting ready to come across the line for 3 laps to go here at Arizona. Pichu London has had a okay season. He's, I don't remember if he's won a race this season. I believe he has. But either or, he's having a great day right now. However, that 17 car is slowly catching the 21. Last time by, Brommer managed to cut down almost 3/10 of that lead. Let's see what it looks like now. Now the half a second. Will the 17 and the 82 and even the 19 have something for the 21? As we are now a lap and a half left here in Arizona. I don't know if there's enough time for those guys to get to the 21. As the white flag is displayed, let's see the margin now. Now the 3/10. But man, Ryan Brommer is definitely trying. I don't think he's going to be able to make the move, but he's still going to come very, very, very close. Pichu London trying to block. And he does block, and it looks like it's all Pichu London coming to the checkered flag. Pichu London wins the Pep Boy Auto Parts 400 at Arizona Speedway. Great strategy on the part of the 21. Stayed out when the first group of cars came into pit road. Managed to get out in front of the main leaders of the race, like Phil Parker and Carson Gum, and managed to hold off a charging Ryan Brommer to win here at Arizona. But let's look at the rest of the results. Highest finishing rookie Ryan Brommer with a phenomenal run in the second spot. I feel like if we would have had one more lap, he would have probably had the win, because he was closing in fast. Highest finishing chaser Joshua Sekuli finishing out with a great run in third. Carson Gum with a solid performance in fourth, and then Phil Parker, one of the dominant cars of the race, finishes out in fifth. Trent Dunham with a solid run in the sixth position. Great run in seventh for Charles Sanford. Finishing out in eighth was Jake Baskinger. Solid run in ninth for William Brock, and then rounding out the top 10, Sean Galligan in the 10th position. Rest of the top 20, was Cody Lamas, Jonathan Zorline, Joshua Michaels, Shane Lake, DJ Curtis, Jay Jefferson, Preston Plord, James Shelley, Tim Fiegel, and Dylan Thoreau. Rest of the top 30 was Dougie Shears, Dylan Poteet, Kyle Matthews, Jessica Shelton, Dorian Facepuncher, Johnny Gardner, James Qualls, Emmanuel Hartnett, Matt Haas, Dylan Jacobs. Rest of the top 40 was Matt McIntyre, Zachary Fitzwater, Benjamin Miles, Patrick Smith, James McLeod, Joshua Collard, Dylan Young, Scott Roush, Rafael Leduc, Seth Cole, and then finishing out the field were Chris Dollarton and Zach Flickinger. So, that is Arizona in the history books in the chase. Next week, we head back to New Hampshire for the Cobalt Tools 300. But until then, here are your results. Rookie points, chase points, and regular points heading into New Hampshire. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.